We're back with our friend Sarah Paulson, from American Horror Story, The People vs. O.J. Simpson, a whole lot more. Now she's starring in a new psychological thriller called Hold Your Breath. Tell us what it's about.
Oh goodness, it's about a woman in the 1930s who was left alone to fend for herself amidst these horrible dust storms. And she has 2 young children. She had a third who died of scarlet fever. And so she is sort of in the throes of grief, which is why I wanted to do it, because it's not your average slasher horror movie. It's much more of a psychological thriller, and basically at its core, the story of a mother fighting to save her family.
Let's take a look at a clip.
He's been sneaking into our house, moving things at night, trying to hurt the girls. He can get through locks, closed windows. He comes apart like dust. He seeps in through the rain. Please, come on. You can breathe him in. He'll make you do terrible things.
I'm going to scoot over here a little bit. You described this role as a descent into madness.
Yeah.
So when you're doing a role like this, how do you keep one foot in the real world?
That's probably a great question for my shrink, because there is a certain amount of it that is hard to shake. But at the same time, for me, the genre is the most exciting to work in because the stakes are extremely high. You're usually living in the world of life or death circumstances, which means as an actor, you can go big or go home, and I tend to go big and not go home. So
I'm glad that you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your great-grandmother was the inspiration for this character?
Well, my great-grandmother's hairdo was an inspiration for this movie. There's a wonderful picture that my mom gave me that is 4 generations, which is my mother as a young child sitting on my grandmother's lap, her mother, her mother's mother, and her mother's mother. And she had this beautiful blonde, long hair that was braided on top of her head. And so I sent the picture to the filmmakers, and I asked if I could do this as an homage to her. And,
wow.
And so that was because, I just thought it was pretty
That's
cool.
special.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
You're also reunited with Evan Moss-Backrack. You worked with him in The Bear. And boy, I'll never get that episode out of my mind.
The Fishes episode.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It was wild when we were doing it because it was the closest thing to doing a play, actually, because we had so many cameras going at the same time. It reminded me of when I did The People vs. O.J., where anytime we were doing those courtroom scenes, there were 5 cameras going all the time, so you never knew when you were going to be on camera. And I was really nervous to be on the set, actually, of The Bear. Yes, because I was such a rabid fan, and we actually shot the movie before I did the episode of The Bear. So I was so grateful to see a familiar face because Eben and I had done this freaky movie together, and I walked on the set, I was like, my brother. It was really sweet.
Will you go back for season 4?
No one's told me I can't say, so I'll let that sort of communicate whether or not I'm going to be back. I might be back. I might be back.
That is the best response.
Yeah, it's like, they did say I couldn't say, so maybe.
But you didn't say
I didn't really say it, so you can't sue me either.
Well, that's a fair answer. Fair answer. And you're busy.
Yes.
You're working with Ryan Murphy again.
I am.
And All's Fair, Glenn Close, Naomi Watts, Kim Kardashian, Niecy Nash, Tiana Taylor. You have a text chain?
Yes, we have a very innocent text chain going on, which is just about like having dinner all together. There's nothing really dramatic or salacious or tidbitty on there yet. It's just like who wants poached salmon and who rather would have like lemon pasta.
But I heard you say yet. I heard yet.
Well, because I hope it will evolve into the thing we all want it to be.
Well, you're not the only one who's busy. Ryan Murphy.
Yes.
Okay. And so, since you're working with him again, is there a
Yes.
chance American Horror Story again?
I think there is a big chance that I will return to American Horror Story. I've got everything crossed. I would like to do it more than anything. It's my home. It's where I started. I got to play, 7 different characters in 7 years, which as an actor is the most exciting, thrilling thing, and also allows an audience to be ready for anything you're going to do because they're not attached to one thing that you do specifically. So that has given me a lot of career flexibility, and so also just my favorite people. If I could be reunited with Evan Peters and Ryan Murphy, you can just pretty much tell me what time to be there, and I'll be there.
Love that.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
So glad you have so much going on. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
today.
having me, really.
And Hold Your Breath is streaming now on Hulu.